back on Morning Line. It's our final segment this morning. If you'd like to join in the conversation, 737-7587. As you say, we're talking about the new stadium proposal with Butch Spyridon, okay, of course, CEO of the Nashville Convention and Visitors Bureau, and we also have Ben Eagles with us, Senior Advisor to the Mayor. So just where we stand then right now, Metro Council had one of the meetings last night to kind of start discussing some of this. This is not a done deal yet. We know what the mayor feels. You still have to sell this to the council. We'll have some questions, as they should. What's the timetable? What are we looking at here? And is there kind of a deadline where we, come on, we got to get this done or not?
Well, there are a few factors. One is construction costs are rising, and we're in an inflationary environment, and so everyone benefits by getting this done sooner rather than later. But at the same time, we do want to be very intentional and have a very transparent process. So legislation has been filed on the term sheet that, while non-binding, will be a very strong nod of approval that things are headed in the right direction, that the council likes the form of this deal. And based on that term sheet approval, the Titans will then spend tens of millions of dollars on stadium design. So that vote will happen.
Excuse me for interrupting there. Just with regard to the design, we showed you some of the mock-ups, and that's what they've proposed. There's not even an architecture firm. The Titans, who will have the, the stadium is going to end up being owned by the city, right? But how will that design be decided upon? Do the Titans say, look, this is what we really want, and then...
Well, that's why we have a sports authority, and so they're going to have a great deal of say in this process. And so, by no means is it just the Titans on their own. This is.
I'd like a moving sidewalk on those ramps that you have to go to the nosebleeds where I sit. Can we get one of those? Like you see in the airports. Can we get a moving sidewalk?
Just an extra $100 million.
Well, I don't know. We're talking billions here.
It's nothing.
Okay, so they'll have to get that in place. But I'm sorry, who was that? And by the way, the deadline, if things go as planned, is you'd like to have the team kicking off in the new stadium in 2026?
26.
That's the hope. So they're going to be voting on the term sheet and on the raising the hotel occupancy tax. That's going to be hopefully in December. Final documents, lease agreement, development agreement, hopefully signed and approved Q1 of 23, with construction beginning later that year. Hopefully the door is open and they're kicking off in August of 26.
Okay, let's take a call from Kevin. Kevin, good morning. Hi, Kevin.
Yes, good morning, guys.
Morning.
Morning.
Hey, about this Titan Stadium.
Yeah.
Mr. Bill Lee and Mr. John Cooper need to sit down and realize we need more cameras and more TVs for the tailgaters here in Nashville. We got people coming in town right to left, and I know Nashville is growing, and I wish we could get this done here in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm a fan of the Tennessee Titans.
Awesome. Well, listen, you kind of talked about it, like when it comes to TSU. In fact, there's going to be a bunch of screens, so it'll be very clear when TSU's playing there. It would be kind of neat to have a big screen outside for fans who aren't in that are tailgating, right?
Outdoor screens.
That would be pretty neat. I like his idea. Yeah.
And anybody that does retail over on that side is going to take into account that there's going to be events there, and pre-game, post-game, and maybe I just came to be around the excitement. I'm not going to the game, but I want to be on the campus for the Titans AFC Championship game or a Final Four or a Super Bowl. There's going to be a lot more people outside probably than inside on game days.
And for the fans, one of the things that Burke and the Titans have talked about is having a tailgating experience that is different than it is now, because we're not going to have the surface parking lots, but much improved. So they actually took their team down to Ole Miss to see the Auburn game there and go to the Grove, and they would like to cultivate that sort of excitement and tailgating environment on this park.
Who was it that went down there?
Burke Nihill, CEO of the Titans.
Oh, they went down to take a look at the what they did at Ole Miss. I've heard about that. Well, sometimes before a Vandy game, and it's been a long time, but they sometimes gather out at Centennial Park. I'm just saying, a grassy area as opposed to a parking lot, which you're right, that is a more pleasant experience, in my opinion. It's just you're on grass and there's trees as opposed to a hard parking lot.
You cannot underestimate the tenacity of a fan, especially an NFL fan. They're going to find their tailgate spot, and they're going to celebrate before and after the game. So they'll figure it out, and hopefully we make it easier for them.
It's true, though, the cost of a ticket. We already talked about PSL owners may get some preferential treatment and a break. They're going to have to pay again a bit to kick into this. Ticket prices in general tend to go up most of the time. I think the Titans have one of the more affordable tickets in the country, I think. But
yeah, we can all expect prices are going to increase. I mean, that's one of the reasons the number of seats are going down.
Yeah.
So you got to sell less. But it's a personal choice too. And the market has shown time and time again that sports fan, that Titan fan, they're going to find their way into that stadium. I'm amazed at it some days. I go, and I can afford it. But sometimes I go, why? It's too much. But the fan that wants it saves their money.
Yeah, it is. It is unfortunate that a family of four to go to a Titans game, it prices a lot of people. That's the reality of NFL and most major sports. I mean, still one of the best values anywhere is right behind our station here at the Sounds. Okay, and by the way, I wanted to bring that up. What you describe happening in the East Bank, it's been amazing to me because I drive in here every day and the stadium's right behind us just to see the development around the Sound Stadium and the restaurants and the condos. Now, I know it's going to be a little different, but it has become something compared to what it was like at Greer. The old, I mean, holy cow. I was afraid I was going to get stabbed over there. Here, I mean, behind us, condos, restaurants. Is that kind of the thinking? I know there'll be greenways over there, but is that, it's really developed nicely back here. And of course, you have Bicentennial Mall and the Farmers Market.
But it's a neighborhood.
Yeah, right.
That's what ends up happening.
Right.
And I know the Titans have an eye on, kind of looking at what happened around Wrigley Field. So you took a blighted neighborhood, an iconic stadium, and they developed the neighborhood back and brought it to life. That's the Titans' dream. I know that's the mayor's dream.
Well, and the difference with the Titans' dream, it's not Wrigleyville being built up. You get to create it from the beginning.
Create it from the ground up. And the pieces that you want need, affordable housing, transit, retail, restaurant, office. Let it be a vibrant neighborhood and it'll work.
Guys, thank you. Is this the last you'll be talking about this?
Certainly not. I don't believe that.
You're never done talking.
No,
I mean,
never done.
Listen, thank you both for coming on and talking about it, trying to answer the questions and be straight up with it. Whenever there's this much money involved, people are going to have questions.
It's right to take the time to ask. Nobody's in a hurry. To that first caller, it's only been a week since the terms were kind of put out there. So the intention is to be very transparent.
Yeah, and we'll continue to ask questions. But thank you both for coming on. I really appreciate it. I know how busy you both are. We'll take a break. I'll be back with a programming note right after this. Stay with us.